The council chamber of the Galactic Empire buzzed with a subdued assurance as its top officials assembled to talk about a recent development, tails of a fleet from a distant, hardly noticeable species, the humans. For millennia the Empire watched them with little care and slight fascination as they gradually advanced technologically. Humanity was viewed as a minor footnote in galactic history, more similar to a species only learning to use fire, rather than a danger worthy of being addressed as. An officer submitted the first report the humans had received. Their respective areas exchanged contemptuous looks. Having organized a fleet that appeared ready to invade Empire territory, some people laughed, amused by the boldness of such a young species. The counselor noted it might be a miscalculation, a stray signal, or a mistake on humanity's part. Another group of navigators suggested it was a scout fleet, possibly testing the waters. At best, it was a small curiosity, but procedure demanded they respond. The Empire had long prided itself on controlling its boundaries through supreme strength and strict discipline. They decided to intercept the human fleet with a small, lightly armed contingent to show of strength to remind the newcomers of the Empire's supremacy. Most believed the humans would withdraw once they saw the might of the Empire. Throughout the Council's deliberations, several members expressed moderate concerns. Reports suggested humanity had recently made significant strides in technology, but these whispers were quickly dismissed. The Empire's research departments had already conducted detailed analyses of human technology and deemed it primitive. Basic shielding, clunky warp drives, nothing comparable to the Empire's fleet. The Council adjourned, confident they'd crushed a trivial distraction. Fleet commanders received their orders. With laughter and disdain, they approached the mission. Expecting a smooth encounter, Empire officers on board engaged in light-hearted banter, speculating on the primitive nature of the human ships. But as they reached the designated coordinates and the Empire's fleet began to deploy, they were met with something unexpected. Human ships moved in perfect formation. Their accuracy and synchronization suggested a coordination far beyond expectations. The Empire's officers dismissed this, assuming humans had merely learned some basic tactics. Then, as the fleets drew closer, more signals were received. Human ships were larger than predicted. Some officers hesitated, noting the advanced configurations. Despite strong readings from human shields, the Empire's commanders insisted humanity still couldn't match their firepower. The Empire's ships entered an intimidating formation, encircling the humans. But the humans didn't flinch. They held course, unbroken. The Empire's head commander, slightly intrigued, prepared to deliver a pre-written message of dominance. The humans responded only with subtle movements. Silent and unnervingly calm. Annoyed by the lack of response, the commander ordered a low-power warning shot. The pulse streaked toward the humans, but every vessel dodged it with uncanny synchronicity. Taken aback, the Empire fired again, stronger this time. Again, the human fleet responded with flawless maneuvering. A growing unease crept into the Empire's ranks. This level of coordination shouldn't be possible. The humans held formation, their systems now visibly powering up. Shielding, weapons, propulsion all spiked beyond prior estimates. Then the humans struck, not with overwhelming force, but with surgical precision. They targeted the Empire's shield generators and energy cores, disabling multiple ships without destruction. Officers scrambled to regain control, but their systems faltered. Panic spread. It became clear this was no show of resistance. This was calculated dominance. The Empire's commander gave the order to retreat, but human ships anticipated it. They moved with terrifying speed, cutting off escape routes and forming a blockade. The commander launched a full assault, hoping to overwhelm the humans, but Earth's fleet danced through the storm of fire. Each human vessel moved as one. Every Empire blast missed its mark. In response, humans fired targeted EMPs, rendering more ships useless. Silence descended. The Empire had never encountered such precision, such restraint, such complete tactical superiority. This wasn't brute force. This was mastery. A coordinated, intelligent force that had prepared for every move. Desperate, the Empire unleashed its most powerful arsenal. Plasma cannons, electromagnetic pulses, and energy surges lit the void, but the humans were ready. They anticipated every volley and moved as if forewarned. Their return fire was devastating, not lethal, but disabling. Empire ships drifted in. Darkness, powerless, humiliated. Officers stared at their consoles in disbelief. Data confirmed what they couldn't admit aloud. The humans were in control of the battlefield. The commander clutched his console, ordering a final scan of human technology. But what came back defied logic. Propulsion systems, energy signatures, weapons designs, none matched existing models. Humanity had leapfrogged generations of advancement. Messages flooded in from other Empire vessels, seeking guidance. But the commander had none to give. The once great empire had been subdued, not destroyed. And that, somehow, was worse. The humans hovered in space, silent, victorious, making no demands. Their ships, untouched, glowed like sentinels. This was not a war. It was a demonstration, and the message was clear. Humanity had arrived. Their steadfast conviction that they were at the pinnacle of power was now shattered by a single transmission. Amid the growing panic, it emanated from the human fleet, a steady, serene voice. Flawless in galactic standard, the human message began. Each time, this conflict is pointless. Withdraw your forces, and we won't. It was not a threat, it was a warning. If you pursue farther, you will be left with nothing. An assertion supported by undeniable facts. The Empire now had to reckon with the truth. The humans had acted with restraint and control, establishing their power without attacking to destroy or conquer. Causing no needless damage, this restraint revealed a mastery of warfare that went deeper than any weapon. The commander of the Empire hesitated, the first time in his career. His officers watched him, the weight of the choice pressing heavily around them, their eyes a mix of perplexity and defeat. They had been ready to battle, to win, and come out on top, as they always had, but now, deprived of power, with no chance to win, they were compelled to face a disturbing reality. Humanity was not a foe to be regarded lightly. They were something far more, a force that operated with intelligence and command beyond the Empire's comprehension. Grudgingly, the commander admitted the only way forward. Aware this would be a watershed moment, he spoke in a steady but hollow tone. The fleet began to retreat, and the human ships shifted formation, allowing them to pass, but staying close, ensuring there was no trickery. The commander felt the crushing weight of submission as the battered Empire vessels turned and hobbled away. The human fleet remained in place, silently observing, their silence louder than any declaration. As the remnants of the Empire's fleet withdrew, the memory of what the humans chose not to unleash lingered. Officers on board the command ship sat in stunned disbelief. Once so certain of their dominance, now they faced the cold reality of humanity's superiority. Reports poured in, ships rendered unusable, systems disabled with surgical precision. The human response had not been to instill fear in a weaker race, but to expose the Empire's arrogance. The commander called an emergency council. Officers gathered to assess the situation and plan a response. The atmosphere was heavy, a stark contrast to the confidence they once exuded. One of the senior strategists began, "We misjudged." Another added, "Humanity has developed technology, but our intelligence was flawed. They exceeded our expectations in key areas. We must rethink our entire approach." A younger officer asked bitterly, "How did we miss this? We were warned. We dismissed them as rumors. Now we look like fools." The commander silenced the room. "Blame won't help us now. What matters is what comes next. We've lost, but we can still salvage our reputation in the galaxy." They would gather every piece of data, study human formations, energy signatures, and tactics. A young analyst raised her voice. "We recorded everything, their strategy, how they dodged every attack. That data will tell us more than assumptions ever could." The commander nodded. "We'll launch a full intelligence operation, and we must also consider diplomatic options." This caused murmurs in the room. Some pushed for retaliation, believing strength was the only language the galaxy respected. Others warned that further aggression would only deepen their humiliation. the commander made his position clear. We will pursue a balanced path. Force alone has failed. We will send a representative to the human fleet. Proposed terms suggest a ceasefire. We must show we are capable of negotiation and defense. Meanwhile, aboard the human fleet, their commanders monitored the Empire's retreat. They acknowledged the gravity of what had occurred. Their superiority had been demonstrated, but now came the harder path, navigating the complex world of galactic politics. Back aboard the Empire's flagship, preparations for contact began. The commander personally reviewed the message. We recognize your strength. We wish to discuss our future relationship in light of recent events. He sent it, half hopeful, half fearful. Would the humans respond? Would they accept the olive branch? The wait was agonizing. Then it came, calm, clear, authoritative. We appreciate your willingness to talk. But know this, humanity will no longer tolerate violence. We seek cooperation based on mutual respect and benefit. The commander exhaled, relief washing over him. They're open to peace, he said quietly. This is our chance. The Empire's officers prepared for the meeting, humbled but hopeful. They would not underestimate humanity again. Not after this. As the two fleets prepared for talks, a new reality took shape. Human delegates arrived, poised and confident. They lacked the subservience the Empire expected from lesser species. The commander of the Empire rose to meet them, trying to match their presence. Thank you for coming, he said. We believe our species can move forward, together. The lead human delegate responded. We value your willingness. Let's build something better, together. Discussions began, plans for joint exploration, technology exchange, and mutual defense were drawn up. The humans presented precise, thoughtful strategies.